All right, well, happy Saturday morning to you all. It is 9:15 on Saturday, and it's about 74 very sticky, thick degrees out here. We've got some afternoon thunderstorms that should be rolling in about 1 or 2. And I'm headed out on the little Cub for a work commute. Give it some more exercise. I still don't have my 500X together. It's back there on the patio. It's done 97%. I just have to put the fairing back on the front and my light bar and all that. I've been working all week and had family chores that have kept me occupied yet again. So hopefully I can finish that. It won't be today because we've got rain headed in. Probably tomorrow. I think tomorrow mid-morning things should be drying up. So I'll be out there on the patio and finishing that thing so I can use it for my work week. Meanwhile, I'm going to run over and fill up this tank because I'm down to roughly half. It was a little bit lower than that a second ago. But I could do my commute on what I have here, but why push it? I don't want to push it. That's the idea. Avoid pushing. So I'll stop over here at Wally World and fill the fuel up and then go down to the Memorial Park area where my appointment is for the day. But I have to stop by my warehouse first and get my keys for that client because they are at the warehouse sitting in my desk. I forgot to put them in my pocket last time I was there. My laptop is also there, but I don't think I need that today. Alright, if you're going to park in the middle of the road. Feels pretty good this morning. It'd be great for a ride. Head out somewhere. Man, if I wasn't working, my plan, which got shot to hell by work, is I was going to head out to Stephen F. Austin Park and camp tonight in the thunderstorms. It would have been great. But that's not going to happen. Well, not likely going to happen. I'm going to try to finish up my work tasks as early as possible today at this client site. It'll probably take me about 2 hours, maybe a little more. Something that has to be done on the weekend when nobody's there. Firewall upgrades and changing out a core switch and cold racking or dry racking some new equipment that is going to be worked on next week. But anywho, so I'm going to try to finish that up and get back home on this before the rain cuts loose around 1:30 or something. And if everything works out tonight, I might do a live stream. I'm not sure if I'll have the time for that, but we'll find out. Get everybody together for a little chat. And alright, I'm not waiting on this. Everybody's a little bit too scattered this morning, it seems like. That spot is open, so I'm going to take it unless this guy tries to hit me head on. Nope. So yeah, I've got a couple things I'd like to give away. It'd be fun. I've got some vlogs that I've been editing and getting on the road, kinda, sorta. They're assembled, but I haven't gotten them fully edited, so maybe I can put this together soon. The hell are you guys yelling at? Getting a lot of colorful people in this neighborhood lately. Drug deals going on here at the gas pumps and all kinds of stuff lately. It's starting to turn to shit. Please lift nozzle. Put base in there, because with as little of fuel as I'm putting in there, it doesn't matter what I select. Whatever's in the pump is what I'm going to get, or whatever's in the hose, I should say. Probably about a half a gallon worth of whatever's in the hose. So me paying for mid-grade or high-grade isn't going to do me any good at all. Just going to benefit the next guy. Whoa, caught it before the burp. And $1.39. I can probably get another 5 or 10 cents in there if I'm lucky. 45, 145.47. Yeah, that's over the bar. We'll leave it there. My latch is getting kind of sticky. I need to work on that. Vite, vite, maintenant. Please take your receipt that doesn't exist. Okay. Sure. See what my mileage is. 15,358 plus the 6.25%, of course, but we're just gonna stick with what it says on there. Doink. And oh wait, let's do this trip just so I'm tracking easily. So we've got $1.45.47. There we go. I can read that. And it was base unleaded. Okay then. Off we go. Reset my trippy dippy. Hit the road. I don't think I'll take the highway today. Probably just take the surface streets because the highway is a little fast and furious on Saturdays. Not a lot of traffic, so everybody tends to go real fast. Okay. Off like a herd of turtles. This thing just feels so much more capable around town than my CT125. It was one of the vlogs that I have in the queue that I'll probably put on the Raw channel. I don't know if I'll chop that up and do it for the main channel or not. We'll see. But this thing, for me, I had my signal on that whole time looking like a dweebus. For me, this thing is just more suited to city life, you know, here in Houston. A little bit faster roads, mostly, you know, paved, if you want to call our pothole riddled pavement seam disasterscape of a road system here paved. But the gearing on it's better, the power delivery is better, the just, I don't know, the overall feel of the bike is just more comfortable for around town life. Hey, bikes, bikes, bikes. Oh, going out for the fun stuff. Yeah, buddies. Yeah, buddies. Got a whole crew rolling here. Damn, what is that, about 15 bikes? I didn't count. They're going out for a road trip, apparently, because they were all kitted up. They had bags on the back and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, back to the CT125. It doesn't really fit my riding style and where I live and, you know, the chores that I have for it. So I think it might end up going away. I never really had any intention of selling it, but, you know, 3 years in, I'm not really riding that thing much. It's still only got just a little over 2,000 miles on it, and 1,600 of that was in one road trip up to Barber Small Bore. Just, I don't know. It's just some bikes you don't quite click with, you know. They don't resonate with you as much as others, and I'm fortunate enough to have multiple different bikes that I ride for different chores, and I'm in a spot where the CT125 doesn't really fit any of my niches very well. It's a little underpowered, it's a little twitchy on the road in comparison to this. Just overall not quite as good. Need to spray this clicker here, the signal switch, with WD-40 or something. Try to clean it out a little bit because it's getting kind of crusty. It's very sticky. It's hard to make it activate or deactivate. I'll mash it 2 or 3 times and look down and it's still flashing, you know. The left-right doesn't feel all that bad, but the center push to cancel is what's real crusty. Getting old. It's 5 years old now. Been through plenty of rainstorms and a whole lot of dirt and silt, so haven't been nice to it. I need to rebuild the front suspension on it. It's getting very rough, very jarring. The compression side of it is very rough, so swap out the fluid at the very least, but I would like to put some cartridge emulators in there with YSS, PD valves. Whee! That was a rough one. Maybe that's what I'll do tonight when I get home. I'm just brainstorming on plans. My mind never sits still for any length of time, not even a few seconds. I might build my helmet tonight, do that on the live stream if I'm able to get the live stream going. At the very least, I'm going to uncork that helmet and record the process of doing the mount on it, you know, the chin mount, and putting the cardo on it and all that, getting that showy Neotech 2 helmet prepped up and ready for the road, because this one is noisy. Not nearly as comfortable as the showy, obviously, but it's very noisy. To reacclimate myself to looking down to my knees pretty much to see the gauge. The gauge on this thing is so low down, so short. Anybody comings? I goes. So my work seems to be picking up a little bit more. I'm very thankful for that. Been praying a lot, hoping a lot that things would kind of get back on some normal schedule. 2023 was a very rough year for me. This year hasn't started out any better, but finally, now in second quarter of the year, it's kind of picking up a little bit. That's good. A little more work, a little more normality and structure to my day is a very good thing. Money has been so ridiculously tight. I won't give numbers because I think that's rude and imprudent, but let's just say that I've been skipping meals just so I can make sure that my family eats and we keep the electricity turned on and some modicum of normalcy and comfort there at home. Bills have been going late and unpaid, and no extras for me or the kids, just basic sustenance and surviving, minus the occasional eating out, Again, I'm trying to keep up some appearance of normalcy, but yeah, I've quite literally been skipping meals, and not as a fasting routine, but as a I don't have the money to eat right now kind of a deal. Shit's been sketchy. My formative years were interesting. I don't know if I'll even put this in the vlog. This might be on the Raw channel, but I grew up in a very upper middle class home in Edmond, Oklahoma. My dad had a very good job with a high paying salary, and my mom owned her own daycare. So we had two incomes and lived a very carefree upper middle class lifestyle, but it was not all roses and lilies. We had a lot of problems in that house. Wasn't a happy home, let's put it that way. I'll leave it at that. My parents ended up getting divorced when I was like 13 and a half or something like that. I remember my 14th birthday they were divorced, and we went from living very well to welfare, like food kitchen, food pantry donations just to eat. My mom's health was really bad. She lost her daycare. She was always in and out of the hospital, and I don't mean like just going to get checked up. I mean in intensive care, in the serious care wards, and had her just shy of being on life support a lot of times. She had really bad health issues. So my sister and I never really knew if she was going to be around from one day to the next, and that forced us to kind of grow up fast, and what little work she could do just barely paid the mortgage on the house and covered basic necessities, but it wasn't enough. Stuff just got cut off all the time, and my sister moved out of the house when she was 18 and went to live with some friends in an apartment, but I'm 3.5 years behind her. So from about 14 on, I had to be an adult. I was working just to get enough extra money to get the rest of the bills paid and to help buy food or anything that we needed there at the house. So it was a very stark contrast. I've seen both sides of the coin. By the time I was 16, I was pretty much supporting my mom. Anything I needed for myself, clothes, shoes, anything extra beyond just, the roof over my head, I had to buy, I had to pay for, because she just didn't have it. There's no sense in asking or being angry about it. She doesn't have it, don't ask. Just go earn it, do it yourself. So yeah, where that whole conversation is going is, right now, the times I've been living in over the last 6+ months have brought those memories back up to the surface, wondering, okay, well, where's my next meal coming from, and am I going to be able to pay bills at the end of the month to keep the lights on, and gas bill paid and all that kind of stuff. We lived for over a year back in the old days at home. Lived over a year without gas in the house, and remember, that's Oklahoma, where the winters are brutal. So we had no heat in the house, no hot water, taking 30-second cold showers with 40-degree water coming out of the faucets. It's pretty rough. I haven't gotten that bad yet. Not now. Not this time. Hoping it doesn't devolve to that. We'll find out. We can always move, go somewhere else, which is kind of pending. There's other things brewing at my household that I won't discuss, but moving is always expensive, so you gotta uproot yourself. You gotta have the money to go buy or rent or do something somewhere else, plus the moving costs themselves. It's not a cheap endeavor. And then I've got to think about continuity for the kids and everything else. So life has been a shit show for me. Yeah, thanks for almost hitting me, jack off. 70 on the access road. Okay. Hurry up and wait. It's a red light. Where are you going? Fuckwit. Giant fucking hurry to just stop. Okay. Clueless. Angry just to be angry. I was on West Park Tollway coming home yesterday from Galveston. Had another appointment down at Shriners Hospital for my daughter, and there was some guy in an older little Toyota Corolla, probably early 2000s model, that was running in the right lane, bumper munching and weaving around and, being hyper aggressive to whatever was in front of him, one after another, while the left lane is empty. This guy was just being a complete shitbird for no reason. Nobody could figure out what his problem was. He was raging, and he was an older white guy. He looked like he was probably in his 60s or something like that. And he was riding literally within 6 inches of cars and trucks in front of him, and he'd come flying up on the back end of them and lock his tires and smoke it just to match, like, right off of their bumper. And then he's weaving around and mad that they're not getting out of his way while the left lane is empty and open to pass. And he did this 7 or 8 times and about caused 3 or 4 wrecks. And I went around him and he came flying by, and I went around him again and he came flying by, and several other cars behind me were, trying to avoid this idiot. And one of the cars that had been behind me finally passed me slowly, after I got over in the right lane and away from that shithead. And he looked over at me and just raised his hand, shaking his head like, what the fuck? People are just unhinged around here, man. Time to get out of the big city. It's just getting crazy. Come election time around November, oh man, this shit's gonna get even nuttier. Political tensions are already high enough. Once the election comes around, it doesn't matter which way it goes, blue or red, it is gonna be a shitstorm. I'm not a quitter. Quitting really isn't in my vocabulary. It's not in my psyche. I'm not wired that way. But God, man, I tell you, I'm just so tired of all the shit. Everything. Living situation, politics, life in general. Just ready to throw in the towel. I don't know what that means as far as continuing beyond that point, but I'm just fed up with everything. I think everybody is. That's kind of why everybody's tempers are so frazzled and frayed, and everybody's on the ragged edge of just about to snap all the time. The difference in character is how you deal with that. Do you lash out at everyone else around you, or do you internalize it, be passive aggressive, and just shut down and everyone can fuck off and you just go do your own thing and be a hermit, you know. I fall into that category. I could just give a shit, you know. I got no more fucks to give, man. Don't mean anybody else any harm. Don't have any animosity or ill will. I just don't give a shit anymore. I'm ready to go live off grid and raise chickens, you know. Honking at each other, just going around an intersection. What the hell, man? Just drive. Cutting somebody off just because they're angry. Angry all the time. Rest my case. 75 on the access road and a 45. Yeah, so the whole moving out to the sticks thing, oh, that sucks, like I had a flat tire. Moving out to the sticks, I don't know how that would work. You know, I don't think my family could do that. I won't go into any details, but I don't think that's gonna work. Ah, shit, I can't stop. Don't know what that's going to look like. My wife and I's plan for retirement changed, and then has probably been pretty much canceled. Our goal was to move down to Brazil and live on one of our properties down there, or liquidate those properties and buy something in a resort area, you know, and just kind of relax in our retirement. But that's not going to happen, I don't think, for more reasons than one. I don't know, man. I just work here, do my job as best I can. Lately, I haven't been able to do my job as well as I always have been over the last, you know, couple decades, and that has put a lot of strain and tension on a lot of different things. It is very difficult being a sole worker, sole earner, sole provider, and not getting any support, I guess is the right way to say it. Nobody's got my back. Thank you for waiting. That was very polite. Yeah, with money being so tight, I haven't had any opportunity to do any of my projects that I like to do. Got to take care of responsibilities first. And the temptation has been there to try to monetize the social media stuff and the YouTube channel and media presence and all that, you know, be a quote-unquote influencer. I've really been resisting that. I don't want to do that because that makes my hobby a job, and then I'll resent it and I won't like doing it. So, I don't know. I get a lot of commercial sponsorship and review offers and stuff like that all over the place. And I don't want to get into that game. I don't want to feel like I'm beholden to a corporate enterprise to paint a rosy picture when it's not something that I believe in. I want to have a clear conscience and still enjoy myself, you know. That being said, I have had a couple of recent larger groups reach out to me, larger product companies that have really watched my videos, and I know that because they told me about some content in it that was interesting to them and a product that they think might be a good solution or a good fit. I get so many just blind emails, you know, just bullshit marketing stuff. Hi, you know, creator, we love your content. We think you'd be a great fit. Would you like to advertise kitchen utensils for us? No, go fuck yourself. You're obviously not looking at the channel. You don't know what my demographic is, so don't waste my time. But a couple of others have reached out to me that really have watched the content, and I'll probably be doing a couple of sponsored reviews. They're not going to have a say in what my opinion of it is, and I'm not going to give them a pre-release or preview of the review video before it goes live. I've asked them for, you know, what would you like to see in the video as far as, you know, review content or whatever, and I gave them a couple of ideas, and they said, yeah, that'd be great, that'd be fantastic, and if this goes well and you want to do another review, we'll send a whole bunch more products to you and tell us what you think. So that's what I like. It's the tell us what you think, not blow a bunch of sunshine and smoke up everybody's ass and convince them to buy this when it may not be that great, you know. I'm not wired that way. I can't do that. Tell us what you think. Yes, I will. I appreciate the offer, and thank you for the free swag and the discount codes for my viewers if it works out. So I'll probably do one of those coming up here pretty soon. I don't know which bike that product will be installed on. If you're on my Discord server, you probably already know what that is. But I'll probably do it on the Rebel. Not sure. I could do it on one of the scooters. I need to put the PCX back together and all that, but I could do it on one of the small bikes if I wanted to. I could put it on the 500X. I think it's more suitable for a full-size bike. I'd stop over here and get some breakfast at Smoothie Island, or Island Grill, whatever they call it now, just right behind that building. They rebuilt it. I've been there a few times. I think I've taken you guys there a few times. He didn't expand it. We thought the owner, Faisal, was going to expand it, but he just remodeled everything inside. He opened it up a tiny bit. It feels more open in there, but it's mostly just a cosmetic remodel. Being in this lane. USA 144. Judge, okay. I guess that's 144th Circuit Judge. I don't know what that is. Judges usually prefer to stay somewhat anonymous in public for obvious reasons. That guy's proud of it. All right, good on you. Wow, somebody's got their cell phone up, or their in-car audio up super loud. Must be that one over there. You can hear their phone call from over here. Goodness. Are you deaf? If you're not, you're going to be. I need to road trip this thing again. Proper road trip. Good long one. A couple thousand miles or better. I really did have an immeasurably fantastic time on the Cannonball on this. It was long, brutal torture, but I don't know, maybe it's like women in childbirth, you know, you forget the pain and you're ready to do it again. It wasn't easy. That's for sure. But I miss this thing out on the road. It's just a fun little machine to roll along the countryside and back highways with. If you can get out of the big city centers and away from all the aggressive douchebaggery that goes on and just soak in the scenery, you know, roll along at 50, 55 miles an hour, which, you know, if you look back a decade or two ago, you know, 20 years ago, that's pretty normal speeds for back highways. Now everybody's so amped up and has to go 100 miles an hour everywhere that even our back highways here in Texas have raised the limits from 55 up to 75 in a lot of places. 70 at the minimums. It's very rare to find any 55 mile an hour back highways anymore. Life is just speeding up, getting crazier, faster, more chaotic, less peace and harmony, and more now, gimme. Everybody's rushing through life to get to the other end. It's the journey, not the destination, people. It's the journey. We know the destination. Destination is the grave. Something our society never wants to acknowledge or talk about. As soon as you're born, your destiny is to die. That's it. Game over. You live, you die. Now, what do you do with that time in between? How do you enjoy yourself? How do you interact with others and fill up those memory banks? That is your choice. But pretending that end isn't coming, that's just stupidity. That's naivety, man. No one lives forever, and our entire society, everything here is built on that, you know, living forever. And got news for you. You're going to realize eventually that the most precious commodity is time, not money, not resources. It's time, because you can't get more of it. you got what you got, and that's it. There is no more, and you can rail against the machine, against life, against the Grim Reaper, whatever it is, but at the end, that's the end. Alright, back at it. Grab the keys, which is all I needed to come over here for. 10-minute detour for a set of keys. Click. And go. Yeah, skies are getting thick. Hopefully it doesn't unzip on me before I get done, because I did not bring rain gear or anything with me today. Okay. Still tired. I went to bed super early last night because I got up super early in the morning to head down to Galveston. So I crashed out around 7:30 or 8 last night, and I woke up at like 2:30 wondering what time and what day it was. And I couldn't go back to sleep after that. I kind of laid there for a couple more hours, drifting in and out of very light sleep, but I just was wasting time essentially. So I jumped up about 4:45, 5 a.m., something like that. Made some coffee, get in the shower, get around, start checking emails and prepping for this project today. But I tell you, I'm going to be tired by the end of the day again, so my schedule's gotten all turned around from lack of sleep. Bump. I've got so many bike projects to delve into and parts to buy and stuff like that. A couple of them I have all the parts, I think, so there's nothing to buy. It's just a matter of time and setting up the cameras to record it and all that if I choose to share, which I probably will. Just, why not? It takes so much longer to video and edit and present everything than it does to just do the job and get it done. What would be a 30-minute job turns into a 5-hour job, not including the video editing. But maybe if I can scrounge together a few spare bucks, I'll order the suspension kit for this thing. It usually takes oh, I can't stop. Come on, man. Usually takes a couple weeks to get the stuff in. If I order from WeBike Japan, which is they're a little more expensive on their shipping because they ship DHL or whatever it is, it comes fast. It's like 3 or 4 days usually, not even expedited service. If I order from Biker's Bits in Thailand, that takes a while. It's 2 or 3 weeks. But I might order a fork upgrade kit for this. If anyone out there watching has a Super Cub and you've done the I'm getting out of this lane, I'm going to get hit. If any of you have done a fork or shock upgrade on your Cub, let me know what you got and how you like it. I wouldn't mind putting better rear shocks on the back of it, but I want to keep those spring covers. I like that look. Bump. The rear shocks still feel pretty good to me. They're not overly soft or blown out or anything like that. They still have decent damping, it feels like, but the front suspension has always been pretty jarring on this bike. You don't have a lot of suspension to work with, as far as travel, so 2.7 inches or whatever it is, maybe 3 inches if you're lucky. I don't remember, I have to look at the stats again, but when you've only got that little of the suspension or travel to deal with, you're going to have to damp it pretty aggressively with spring rates or valving or whatever in the shocks, so it doesn't leave you a lot of maneuvering room. And these are built to a price point, they're cheap-ish. Well, do it or don't do it. Got a bike coming up. Nice, goozy. It's got that thing lowered. Woo, really lowered. Low riding. Like those brakes, do you? Alright, well, if everybody's going to sit there forever and a year, I'm going to go ahead and get up here to this yield. People have the reaction time of your average sea sponge. 1 inch migration per hour. Oh, almost could have made it. I can make that one. Them guys are going slow. Nice morning for a ride. Where should I move if I move out to the sticks somewhere? Been thinking Missouri, maybe Arkansas. That's out of state, obviously. I wouldn't mind staying in Texas, but I don't know. Texas is kind of losing its appeal for me over the last few years. We're getting too many transplantees from other states that are bringing their mentality with them, and it's dragging this state down. And then the whole border situation, we're getting a lot of influx of unvetted variety, let's put it that way. So I don't know. I'm thinking more middle America. Don't really know. Anywho, I will sign off now and catch you all for the return commute home, hopefully. Maybe even a live stream tonight if it works out. Howdy. Oh, you're new. All right. Well, new for me anyway. I'm Aaron, the network guy. If I can get it off of there without pulling it off. So I'm going to be working on the servers and the internet. So you're going to see the internet drop out. I'll start doing the maintenance right around 10:15-ish. And the internet's going to drop out for about 15 or 20 minutes and should come back pretty quick. So, all right. Thanks. Appreciate it. I know most of the security guys. I don't know that guy. He doesn't know me. Eeny, meeny, nobody coming. Boom! That didn't sound very good. Okay then, I'm here. Don't really need to lock it in here. Place is pretty safe. Okay, off to work I go. All right, mission accomplished, back on the road. And it looks like I'm going to beat the rain home, I think. It's about noon 15 right now, something like that. And I think I'll be able to make it all the way out there before these clouds unzip. The rain forecast was showing about 1-ish, 1:30, kind of in that ballpark. So we'll see how it plays. If I get wet, I get wet. That's all right. Is that my street? No, that's not it. Next one. I don't have anything else going on today, so if I get wet and have to go home wet, that's fine. Bump. Lots of honeysuckle in the air over here today. Real sweet, real strong. Well, me, all right. Big bump. That rattling is the fuel tank. I need to put some more padding, rubber pad between the tank and the metal frame. I went looking for it a few days ago, trying to figure out where my new rattle was, and it's that. It didn't used to rattle, and it never had any pads below it. So it could be the front arm, the tension arm up here that Neil had made. Not sure. Throw a little rubber strip along the underneath side of that and put a fresh one on the tensioner up here, and maybe that'll quiet it down. I noticed my engine sounds a little ticky too, the valves. I'm hearing more valve clatter than I used to, so I need to get in there and check my valve clearance again. I might just go ahead and pull the motor, pull the jug. I think it's going to be easier to drop the engine out of this thing than to take all the plastics and everything off of it, so I'll probably pull the engine out of it and do the timing chain and idler wheel and tensioner and all that. Just set the valves while I'm in there. Wake up! How green does it have to be, man? Fucking buffoons. All competing and jockeying for the same spot instead of just being in the lane that they need to be in to begin with. Ay, ay, ay. asshole. Fuck you. Stopping in the middle of the goddamn road. $25 miles on the clicker. Be right about 40-ish, 42, I guess, when I get home, something like that. I go ahead and do an off and on, or on and off. This next couple lights up here are a little bit dicey. Everybody's blowing red lights and doing crazy shit, so I'm gonna stay out of that. 90, bumper biting, threading the needle for no damn reason. Hey, hey. It's getting darker out here. Going 120 down the HOV, no lights on. Nice. Somebody's burning oil. Ain't me. I hope. This thing's never been burning oil before, so hopefully if it's leaking somewhere, it's not off the jug, because that's exhaust burn. It's oil burning off of a manifold. You can tell by the smell. This guy's sitting in the middle of the intersection. Alrighty. Line's way back there, dummy. A link and a half behind. Feels great out here. Temperature is just fantastic. Mid 70s, probably low 70s right now. Feels good. Yep, starting to rain. Maybe I'm not going to beat the rain home. Just got a bunch of sprinkles across my visor and maybe on the camera lens too. Man, I'd love to be hanging a hammock at the park right now, getting set up for a rainy moto camp. That would just be delicious. I need to get my full moto camp kit prepped and ready for the road again. I've got a couple of group rides on the horizon. I got the Life of Birch ride meet. I think that's May 4th, so it's real quick. It's just a couple weeks from now, and I've got to leave, at least a couple days early for that. So I'll be leaving 1st of May or maybe something like that. We'll see. No later than the 2nd, because I need to break up my trip and not try to crush it in a day like I usually do. I don't think my back and shoulders are up to that torture. And then after that, sometime in June, Neil has a mini cannonball that he's preparing. He's got all the stuff pretty much lined out for it, and I need to coordinate with him here pretty quick, because we want to get all the GPX tracks and everything kind of published for everybody 6 weeks in advance. So that's coming up fast, and that's going to be a pretty big loop. It's, man, I don't know, it might be 3,000 miles or something like that once it's said and done, for me to ride to the start of the event and go and come back and all that. So it's going to be a pretty good length. But anyway, back to the thought. I want to get out and do some real camping again, some adventure camping and cooking and all that. So I need to get my cook kit out and get everything kind of lined out. I don't know if I'll be pulling the trailer, maybe behind the CT125 if that one stays in the stable long enough, or more likely behind the XT250, and just go out and excuse me, I got the yawns. go out and take 4 or 5 days just off grid, just disappear. And I am smelling oil again. Maybe this thing is leaking oil. I gotta check it when I get home. Or somebody that I'm around is stinky with oil. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's oil. So maybe I'm leaking. I don't know. It's the same smell, so burning on an exhaust manifold. Only place this would leak on an exhaust manifold is right up there off the jug, off the head, or potentially if it's leaking from the oil drain bolt underneath, it could be spraying back onto the exhaust. So I need to check it when I roll into the driveway. Then again, maybe it's just a lot of people with stinky cars today. I don't know. Big bump. Starting to trickle down now. Getting sprinkles all over the visor, and just got one on my neck. Looks like I timed it just about right. All right, well, back in my neighborhood before the skies decided to let loose. That's a good thing. I'll see if I can arrange my streaming rig in the theater room to set up for a live stream tonight. Maybe I'll do a live stream. If not, I'm going to edit a bunch of video and try to crank out a couple of ride vlogs and get caught up on current events. But at any rate, I'm home again, and thank you all for tagging along, and I will hope to catch you for the next ride.